Immediate results are less rewarding than steady improvement. This is one of the many great ideas that Darren Hardy gets across with his book, The Compound Effect. And he wants to establish with the compound effect in his first chapter that once you use the compound effect, that means you should know that every decision you make creates your destiny and that you must work consistently before you can experience success. Then, when you reach your goals, you have to maintain discipline if you wish to build on them, or your hard work will be for nothing. And Darren's idea that every decision you make creates your destiny is an idea to get you to become someone who is more intentional and about your decisions that you're going to make. And it makes you think more about why you're going to do something, why you're going to think one way, why you're going to think the other way. And it's a way to get you more proactive about the decisions you're making, because there is an element of us sleepwalking through life, and this is something that Darren gets onto in the future, but it's an important consideration. If you want to become someone who is more intentional, someone who has stronger convictions about what he or she does, this is a great way to get into that. And this is just one of the many great avenues that Darren takes. The second element is to transform your life goals into daily habits. Sometimes we don't want to admit it, but our choices are what shape our destiny, and we are responsible for what we do or don't do. It's important to take responsibility and accountability, and I've discussed this already on my channel before, but accountability and responsibility will elevate you as a person. It will make you someone who is more responsible, someone who is can be relied on more, someone who is more respectable from your own belief about yourself and from the belief of others. And this concept of our choices, it's our choices that shape our destiny. Tony Robbins has a similar approach in his book Awaken the Giant Within, which I've done an insight on this channel. And these people, they hedge on the idea that you are in control of your decisions, so make sure you take responsibility and you direct your decisions to the things that you want to achieve. And those are just the small tweaks, but essential tweaks that will make your life better, make your life one of achievement, one of happiness for yourself. Sometimes it's the seemingly insignificant decisions that prevent us from being successful. For instance, no one wants to become obese or declare bankruptcy, but these are the consequences of multiple poor but small choices. To add on to this, I would say that it's also the small behavioral changes, the small thoughts that we have. Those things contribute to the consequences that are unfortunate, the bad consequences that we see in life. So as much as you can, because it's just about how much you can do within your ability. It's not about having a 100% success rate with being an achiever, being a positive person, being someone who is driven to accomplish things, because in our human nature, we have limitations, and there are things that you're going to fall short on. Some days you're going to be negative. Some days you're going to fail. Some days you're going to do things that are not to the highest standard that you set for yourself. But knowing that you have limitations should not stop you from trying altogether. Just because you know you're not going to be 100% 7 days a week, 24/7, doesn't mean you shouldn't even try for 1 hour. It's a straightforward concept, and when I say it, it sounds like I'm just speaking to the choir. I'm just saying platitudes. I'm just speaking nonsensically, because I'm just speaking what we already know. But there's been cases with people that don't really truly understand these ideas, and I've not understood these ideas myself. So trying your best to understand these concepts and apply it into your own life. Try find a way that it is applicable to your own life. Hopefully that could make it more of something to your understanding. That's the best way it's worked for me. Third thing is to create a routine to keep your momentum going. If you keep your healthy behavior up for a long enough time, you'll fall into a natural, consistent rhythm. As you keep that pace, you'll keep making the right decisions, and start feeling unstoppable. So it's once you start getting into the rhythm of things, once you start building momentum, try keep things going. Because a lot of people well, let me not say a lot of people. Let's just say a few people can get to a level of success that is measurable success for them, and then they fall flat. They not flat, but they start declining because they get to that level that they see as success, but then after that point they refuse to continue things, keep things going, and keep a good routine that allows them to establish a great momentum. So think about how you can build a good routine and a good plan to keep you going once you get to where you're trying to get to. Fourth thing, embrace obstacles to accelerate your path to success. As you progress, you are bound to hit some personal limits. The question is, will you stop pushing, or will you break through the wall? This is important to understand. Darren Hardy here doesn't try to say avoid obstacles. He doesn't say hide from obstacles. He tells you to embrace them. He tells you that there is going to be some point where you hit a wall, where you hit a limit, where you hit something that is requiring you to overcome, whether it's a resistance or whatever it is. But you should find ways to firstly accept that there is a high possibility that these things will happen at some point, and also figure ways to progress through. And this is something we all understand, but something that, when reiterated in a good, presentable way, like how Darren does it in his book, can be beneficial to share amongst people. Jim Rohn is a great speaker. I haven't seen much of his talks, but I have seen a few, and he's great at speaking. He tells you to talk about things that matter with people who care. This takes away 80% of a lot of conversational problems, because I've done this before, where I talk about things that don't matter with people who care, or talk about things that matter with people who don't care, and there is a miscommunication there. It's somewhere along the way things don't get communicated well, and it is a form of miscommunication. So it alleviates a lot of things, but there is an element that there is the caveat, I guess, that you have to sieve things out. You have to figure out who is the right people I should be talking to, and what are the right things I should be saying. Always take 100% responsibility for everything that happens to you. Success is doing a half a dozen things really well, repeated 5,000 times. So this is on the compound effect of things. When you compound 1 into 1,000, now you have 1,000 of these things, but it requires you to take that one step every single time. And a lot of the rest of this, I'm pretty sure, is just quotes or just points that hopefully are beneficial. Like, consistency is the ultimate key to success. Hopefully that's a good one. If you aren't better, work harder. That's just a David Goggins kind of, look, if you ain't good enough, get better. You don't need more knowledge. You need a new plan of action. Yeah, I fell into this as well. Let me know in the comments if you fell into this also, where you get into the pattern of trying to learn more on something that you should be really taking action on, where you keep trying to learn new things, trying to learn ways of doing something when you haven't really tried doing it at all. So it puts you in a position of, you have 100 avenues of knowledge but no plan of action, so it's really wasted. And he says in some point that knowledge uninvested is wasted. You can also say that knowledge unapplied is wasted. Make sure you apply your knowledge, because applied knowledge is power. Choice is at the center of all success and failure. It is what we choose that makes the biggest difference. Too often we sleepwalk through our choices. We default to choices that our society and culture tells us what we should do. It's not the big choices, but the ones that you don't think don't matter or count for much that derail us. You don't consciously think about, but these small decisions can really change things. So it's not the big decisions that make the biggest difference every single time. It's these small decisions that add up, and effectively these big decisions that you make are culminated by the mindset that you take towards these small decisions. And all of that small decisions you make compound into a mindset and an approach you take towards all decisions, and all affect your big decisions. Hopefully that is as clear as day, but when I read it, I found it something very valuable. Tony Robbins' no land concept is when you're really happy, is that when you're not really happy about your life, but you're not unhappy enough to do anything about it. You want to avoid this complacency. So you fall into a rut, and what Tony Robbins calls it, the no man's land, where you don't want to do anything about your life, but you are unhappy about your life. And that's a very bad place to be in. Hopefully you're not in that position, and if you are in that position, put in the comments below. Hopefully either me or anyone else can help with any sort of advice or any sort of experience we have on that kind of situation, and hopefully that won't be you. So I think that is also, we have here small choices plus consistency plus time equals significant results. So a small equation by Dan Hardy, which is quite good. So the last one we're going to end off with is gratitude. Gratitude is acknowledging that there are people in your life who have done things for you that you couldn't do for yourself. Make sure you practice gratitude, because it is something very beneficial and something that's made me more of a humble person, more of an appreciative person, and someone who is more respectful. And it's gotten me closer with other people, and it's gotten me closer with God. And it's something that I think is one of the best steps I've taken, probably the best step I've taken in the past few months. So I hope this has been beneficial. I hope you've learned some of Darren's concepts with the compound effect, and honestly, it's a great book.
The first question to ponder when you go home is why. Here's another good answer to why. It's the second question: why not? Why not see how much you can earn? Why not see how much you can learn? Why not see how many skills you can develop? Why not see what kind of person you can become? Why not see what kind of influence you can have? Why not see how many people you can rescue from oblivion? I want you to take that personal. Why not? Why not? You've got to stay here till you go. I mean, what else are you going to do? Why not see how much you can do, how far you can go? Now here's number 3. Why not you? I wish I could say that to each of you individually, but it would take a couple of lifetimes to sit down and talk with each of you individually. But I would rather do that. I'd rather sit down and talk with you and your family with a fire burning in the living room than to be standing on this platform. That's my true desire. And my personal question to you is, why not you? You've got the brains. You can make decisions. You can study the plan. You can change your life. You can grow immensely in the next few years. You can make your dreams come true. You can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. You can become healthy. You can become powerful. Why not you?